Yeah. As if as if the first and second day of August, with hubby getting sent home because of COVID and finding out his test or his surgery got moved up, and all of that wasn't twists and turns and, as my son would put it, hoopty hoops. He means loopty loops, but he always says hoopty hoops. Today, I got a call from my lawyer, and our adoption date has been pushed again, because her biological father wants to make this as difficult as possible without actually having to get involved. So what happened was, the reason it got pushed from the 3rd, which would have been today, to the 17th, was because once they set the court date, they have to summons him to let him know what's going on, And I didn't know you can refuse a court summons, but apparently you can. And, getting a massage at a massage place or, from your husband. Anyways, he refused the summons the first time. My lawyer reached out and said, I get it, you don't want to go to court, you don't want to do this. Well, if you just sign the consent form, and then we don't have to do all of this, we'll waive back child support, because he owes $5,000. We'll waive back child support and all of that. And he said, and I quote, I'm quoting this, so, I'm not fucking signing shit. Hi, Marcy! So, they have to then summons him again, which he accepted, but since he has no permanent address, and nobody can figure out where he works, the process server kept setting up times and appointments to meet him, to serve him, and he never showed up. So, well, it's because a summons is different than a subpoena. A summons just means basically, hey, this is what's going on, you can show up if you want to, but you don't have to. And a subpoena is, you have to come to court. So, he accepted the summons, but never showed up to actually be served. So now, we have to push it another 30 days, so they can try and summons him again. But this is third strike, he's out. If he doesn't, even if he agrees to be summoned, and he just doesn't show up to actually be served, he defaults his rights, and we move forward. Yeah, so twists and turns and hoop-de-hoops already. All 3 days of this month. Hopefully we're getting that all out of the way, so we can be done with it for this month. I don't know what his problem is, Aaron. He hasn't seen her in 5 years. He hasn't paid his child support in almost a year and a half. Good, Marcy, yay! Can you see so much better? Hi, Bonnie. But he's doing it because he thinks he's hurting me, but really he's hurting Katie. If he gave an ounce of a damn about her, he would just sign the paper because it's what she wants. But because he wants to make my life hell and make things difficult for me, and he doesn't want his pride and his ego to take a hit by signing that stupid paper, he screwed himself, because back in June, since he hadn't paid his child support in so long, they took him to court, and he didn't show up, so the judge gave him 2 months to start paying child support again. Well, his 2 months is up on the 19th, and if we would have been able to keep our original 17th court date, he would have been fine. But now, since we can't, on the 19th, when he hasn't paid his child support in those 2 months, he will be going to jail. So, no, he's going straight to jail. There is no taking his license away or nothing. They're taking him straight to jail. And he has to pay 30% of the over $5,000 that he owes before he can get out. I'm pretty sure is the way it works in Arkansas. Yeah, but that's okay. This next court date will be the court date there, unless something happens with me, my husband, Katie, the lawyer, or the judge. He can't push it anymore. And I also think he's under the impression that as long as he doesn't actually get served, we can't move forward. But little does he know, he's wrong. I think my stove is on. Hold on. Get my blankie too. I mean, and Katie's devastated. Her and Zach and me too have been counting down the days since there was only 30 days left, and now we've got to push it back again. And Zach will just barely be recovered enough from his surgery to actually go to the courthouse. So that's fun. But that's okay. He said he doesn't care if it was the day after his surgery. He would suffer through it to get it done. Because if he can't show up to court, then the lawyers would go to court on our behalf, and the only thing they could do at that point was have his rights terminated, and then we'd have to go back to court. No, and he screwed himself. He doesn't realize that. He has screwed himself by thinking he was, by making my life difficult. And I told the lawyer, I said, don't offer him another waiver to, waive back child support, because even after she's adopted, he will still be responsible for the back child support. And I told the lawyer, I said, don't offer him another waiver to drop it. No, let his ass go to jail, and let him still owe me the money. Owe Katie the money, No. Mm-mm. He wants to fuck with me, he can fuck with me. The two of us can play this game. Go ahead. Luckily, we don't owe our lawyer any more money. But we do have to pay 2 more process server fees for the second time he was summoned and this third time, so. And, Aaron, we have always been upfront and honest with her that Zach is her daddy, but not, she chose to call him daddy when she was, 6 months old. It was never forced on her. And I made sure my husband, the first time she did it, I was like, if you don't want her to do it, we'll correct her. And he's like, no, I don't care. And he said no, so she always knew that was her daddy, but we've always been honest that that's not her.
Mama,
what?
Can I go on yours to get onions?
Is it on mine?
I don't know. I haven't gone on it yet.
If it's on there, yeah. I'm gonna speak not poorly of him yet, anyways. That her biological father, Zach was not her biological father, that Chris is. She knows that. I've always been open and honest with her about that, and when me and Zach started, he's always wanted to adopt her since we got together when she was 5 months old, 4 months old, something like that. But when we started seriously talking about it and seriously talking about, okay, it's time to hire a lawyer, it's time to go through with it, we asked her what she wanted. And she had been asking, Mom, I don't want to be her last name. I want to be y'all's last name. And so when we sat down and talked to her, and it's what she wanted, and so that's what we're doing. And he doesn't realize he's hurting her, Yes. So I'll tell you this story. When Katie was probably 5 months old, I had just started seeing Zach again. He had just met Katie for the first time. And now, if I hadn't already dated him in high school and known him, I wouldn't have let him meet her so soon. But when she was 5 months old, her father had her for the weekend. And when he brought her back to me, she was completely lethargic, running a really high fever. She was awake, but if you would talk to her and try to interact with her, she was unresponsive, right? He had just left 20 minutes before her father had. And I was calling him and calling him and calling him. because we needed to take her to the emergency room. Well, when I finally got a hold of him, he said, well, I'll come and take her to the emergency room if you pay me gas money. I was a single mom, not working at the time, because I had nobody to watch her. I was staying with my adopted parents. And I was still trying to, find a job and work all of it out. So and the only money I wasn't even getting child support yet at that point. So I called Zach, and he lived an hour and a half away. And it was dark, so my adopted mom doesn't drive. My adopted dad couldn't take me because it was dark, and he can't see to drive at night. Anyways. And he was still recovering from a emergency surgery he had to have 5 days after Katie was born. So I called Zach. He was an hour and a half away. He drove from an hour and a half away at like 9 o'clock at night to take us 45 minutes the opposite way of where he came to the emergency room. Stayed with us in the emergency room till 2 o'clock in the morning. This whole time, I'm trying to get a hold of Chris. Oops, I told y'all his name. Don't die. I'm trying to get a hold of her father to, see when the last time she had a bottle was, because she wasn't eating for me. The last time she had a wet diaper or a poopy diaper, because she hadn't had one since he had dropped her off. How long she had been like this, because he didn't even mention it to me when he dropped her off. And he was not answering the phone. Finally, right before we left the ER at 2 o'clock in the morning, he responds to me and says, "Oh, sorry, after I talked to you, I went home and took a nap so I could go to work." Your daughter is in the emergency room. You refused to take her to unless I paid you gas money. And you went home and took a nap? So then, Zach took us back to my adopted parents' house. We got there at 3 o'clock, and then he drove... Didn't catch what? Oh, the name? Yeah. And then, he drove back an hour and a half, got home at like 4:30 in the morning, and had to turn around and go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. I will post a picture on my Instagram for those of you who are on Instagram, and those of you who aren't that I have email chains with, I'll send it to you on there, of their bond from the very beginning, because it is the cutest thing in the world. And I would venture to say, as controversial as this may be, that he treats Katie with more, how do I put this without it sounding bad? I don't want to say he, shows her more love, but I don't know how else to put it. He is more affectionate with her. Well, and here's the thing, Aaron. He has a son now that's the same age as Delson. And he's a very active participant in his life. But after I left him and I started seeing Zach, he had her for the weekend. And I went to the town Zach was living in because my best friend lived there. And she was in a band and they were playing at a bar. And I went to support her, watch her play at the bar. Well, when I got home that Sunday, because I let him have her every weekend. I wasn't the mom that was like, no, you can't see your kid. You can only see her when I say and when it's convenient for me. No, I let him have her every weekend. And even if he would have messaged me in the middle of the week and said, I want to see my daughter, I would have been like, here you go. I've never been the woman that's like, I'm not gonna. Well, he showed up when I got back and he was supposed to drop Katie off. He showed up without her. Oh, and when I left him, it was because we lived in a trailer that should have been condemned. And he did not have a car conducive to have a child in. So I told him, when I left, I said, if you want to get your act together and get an apartment and, a better vehicle for your daughter, then maybe we can work it out. Well, he went out and bought a brand new pickup truck with a 6-inch lift kit, because you know that's conducive to put a infant in when you're 5'4". Anyways, he showed up without her, and he was like, "You're just a whore. You're just going out to bars and getting drunk all the time, and you don't even take care of her, and you're a shit mom, and you won't get her back until you have a job and you can support her, and blah blah blah." And I knew where she was because he was going to work. She was at his grandma's house. And so I said, "That's fine, I'll go get her myself." Well, his grandma had the nerve to call me and say, "If you show up out here, the sheriff's department will be waiting on you." So I called the sheriff's department, and I said, my daughter's father refused to drop her off to me. And they said, "Well, were you guys married?" I said, "No." They said, "Is he on the birth certificate?" I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, and he said, "Do y'all have a court order?" And I said, "No." And they said, "Okay, well, you make sure to call them back and tell them that, you're coming to get your daughter, and they can call the sheriff's office, but they'll be the ones going to jail for kidnapping, since there is no court order in the state of Arkansas." I know it's not really right. It's not right at all, but they're all for the moms, and you don't do that. So I called him back, and I went and got her. Yeah. Doesn't look like he wants to be involved emotionally or financially. I don't see why he's making it harder than what it should be. Would help him out, honestly. No more child support and accountability. Because he wants to make my life hell. He basically told me if he can't have me, he doesn't want her. So. But yet his profile picture on Facebook is still a picture of him sleeping in a recliner with her when she was an infant. Yes. I tell him that all the time. I tell him, he's like, "Oh, I don't want to get on there. They're your friends, blah, blah, blah." I said, "They love you just as much as they love me. They love our kids just as much as they love me, if not more." You know. Yeah, but he has a son now that, he is very active in his life. Even though he's not with that mom anymore. So, yeah. That's what I've been dealing with for the last 7 years. God, I can't believe it's 7 years already. And let's see, for the first, I don't know, 6 or 7 months after I left him, he was very active. Every weekend he would come get her. Now, I don't know if he, kept her the whole weekend. I'm pretty sure he, took her to his grandma's and, left her there and came over for a couple hours every day and saw her and then brought her back to me. Yeah, you got to step up when you missed your opportunity to do so. I mean, your loss. You were too busy focusing on things that didn't matter. You had to move on and do what's best for yourself and Katie. Exactly. And then I would say the February after she was born. Okay, so I would say in December, things started going a little wonky. He would show up late to pick her up. He would drop her off early. He would miss weekends. And then in about February, he had dating the mother of his other child. And I'm not gonna lie, I shouldn't have done this, but I was pissed. And for the first year after I left him, I literally did everything I could to try and force him to be a part of her life. Show up at his girlfriend's house when he lied to me and said he got injured at work and couldn't take care of her. Little does he know, everybody I freaking know works where he was working at the time, so don't lie to me. So I showed up at his girlfriend's house, and he's standing out on her porch smoking. He said he hurt his knee really bad. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, your knee looks really hurt. Here's your daughter." And his girlfriend comes out of her house, and you know what she tells me? "You and your daughter are not welcome at my house." And you know what he did? Nothing. He didn't say, "Well, if my daughter's not welcome here, then I'm not going to be here." Nothing like that. He just let her say that. And so, after that, it became less and less. And then after she turned a year old, it became every couple months he would want to see her. Because I finally gave up. I said, "Whatever. You let me know when you want to see her. I'm not fighting this fight anymore. It's not my responsibility to make sure you have a relationship with her. And then when she was about a year and a half old, he just completely stopped all communications, not seeing her, and then he just... Of course, I still invited, like, his mom, his sister, him, his grandparents to her birthday parties. Well, they showed up, obviously, and her birthday party was the weekend before Father's Day that year. She was born the day before Father's Day, the year she was born. And her second birthday party we had the weekend before Father's Day, and he showed up trying to demand that he would get his daughter for Father's Day weekend. And he asked me if he could come to her birthday party, and I was like, sure, you can, but you need to come a little early because I need to have a discussion with you because you're not going to do this. You're not going to be in and out. You're not going to be here when it's convenient. That's not the way it works. If you're going to be a part of her life, you're going to be a part of her life. And if you're not, then you should just sign the papers and let my husband adopt her, you know? Well, he showed up and we had this conversation. He started getting in my face, yelling, calling me a slut and a whore in front of everybody at this party. Because we were having this conversation and then people started showing up. Well, finally, after the party, him and my husband went off and were having a civilized conversation. My husband said, look, I've been the one here. I've been the one doing it. And, I don't mind sharing Father's Day with you, but you're not taking that away from me. You can come to our house, and you can have Father's Day dinner, and you can spend time with her, but you're not taking that away from me. And so he agreed. And that Father's Day is the last time that he saw her. Yep. And then they wonder why when they are old, they are alone, and then when they are alone, they think about their kids, but got no one around. Exactly. They were both in the wrong. She had no right to say that, and him not say anything was bullshit. Yep, basically, life is too short to be focused on the wrong things in life. My hubby has 4 kids by 3 women, me being one, and 2 of his kids. But thankfully, I get along with both baby mamas and all kids. Like, his one baby mama got me drunk for the first time, LOL, and I was 14. Oh, there's a 14-year difference. Well, and then he was still dating this girl, and I can't remember what was going on, but I really needed to get a hold of him. It was something to do with, like, Katie's health or something, and he wasn't responding to my messages on Facebook, text messages. He wasn't answering phone calls. His mom wasn't responding. His grandma wasn't responding. So the only thing I knew to do was reach out to his girlfriend. So I just reached out and I said, hey, it is really important. If you could have Chris get a hold of me, I would really appreciate it. And she went off on me. She was like, you don't go through me to get to him, and blah, blah, blah. If you want to contact him, you go through him. I'm like, I have tried. Thanks. And then she ended up getting pregnant, and I took this... He told me she was pregnant that Father's Day. He came to see Katie, and I told him, you know, I was being the bigger woman, and I said, you know, I know first pregnancies are scary, you know, if y'all need anything, if she's got any questions or concerns, you know, she can always reach out, you know, that's Katie's brother, you know, just... you know, let me know, whatever. Even though she was always a bitch to me, you know, but that was the last time I heard from him. And their son was born in September, and Delson was born in November. I have seen this before. One of my uncles, he saw his dad that wasn't around ever when he was like 78 years old, and that old man cried and cried and cried. I even cried, but the decisions we make, SMH. And yeah, and it's like I tell Katie, because I never want her to feel like she can't ever have a relationship with him. I met my biological dad for the first time when I was, well, for the first time that I remember, when I was 14. Like, really remember. I do remember meeting him once when I was like 5 at a park before I was adopted, but... yeah, so I always tell her, just because you're adopted Doesn't mean we can't reach out. If there is ever a time you want to reach out to him, we will reach out to him. That option has always been on the table for her. I've always said, if you want me to call him, I'll call him. If you want me to message him, I'll message him. You know, I can't control how he responds, but I will do it for you. And I told her, even after you're adopted, that still stands. You know. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I knew that he wasn't going to make this easy. I knew that he was either going to find a way to hire a lawyer and fight it, or that he was going to find some way to make it difficult, and he is. So I was prepared for this, but it's still aggravating. And it's still kind of baffling. Like, you haven't seen her in 5 years. You don't want to pay child support. You clearly don't give a damn. So why are you doing this? That is pretty funny, Aaron. Yeah, she does have a great support system, and I've been through what she's going through, so, you know, I can understand and help her navigate it. Yeah, I mean, I will eventually, but I don't want to have any contact until this adoption is over, because that could, ruin the abandonment to get his rights terminated, so. Oh, he's 100% doing it as a spite, as vengeance towards me. It has nothing to do with Katie. He could care less about her, like, to be honest. I don't care what he says. He can say all day long that he cares about her and he loves her, but no. He can get the fuck out of here with that. It's like he tries to blame me for why he's not a part of her life, because I did. After his girlfriend said that to me, after his girlfriend said my daughter and me were not welcome at her house, I did. I told him, you can't have her around her. I don't trust her. And after he tried to take her on a flat-bottom boat into the river at 11 o'clock at night while she was in her infant car seat because he wanted to go fishing. You're right, I did put rules and regulations out there. And he said, I just made it so difficult. And I wouldn't let him see her. And he had to jump through all these hoops. And I said, I don't give a damn. I said, if I were in your situation and somebody put out hoops, fire hoops for me to jump through, guess what? If I cared about if he gave a damn, if he gave 1 ounce about his daughter, he would have either jumped through every hoop that was set in front of him, or he would have taken my ass to court. Like, that's all there is to it. Yeah, that's my thought too. It's like, okay, if she would have been a boy, would you have fought a little harder? Yeah. Yeah, it's stupid. I will be so glad when I don't have to worry about if we ever want to move out of state. I don't have to worry about having to get his permission. If we ever want to get her a passport and take her on vacation out of the country, I don't have to worry about getting his permission. Like, technically, if we leave Arkansas for more than a week and he finds out, if he wanted to be a D-bag, he could charge us with kidnapping. Yeah. He could have us charged with kidnapping. You know what, Kat? I don't hope for that. I hope that somewhere down the line he realizes the effect that what he's done has had on Katie, and that he eventually does reach out and eventually does want to have a relationship with her. That's what I hope for. That's best case scenario. Second best case scenario is he just walks away and never speaks to her again. But I don't know. I just know it kills me because going through it myself, even though I had a wonderful dad growing up, my daddy is the best, one of the best men in this world. But I know how knowing that my biological father wanted nothing to do with me and gave me up so easy, I know what kind of mental torment that caused for me. And I just hope that I am equipped to help her navigate those emotions, because that's what led me down my pill addiction, my self-harm, my suicide attempts. You know, that's the root cause of it. And then, you know, everything I was going on in my home life just kind of compounded it. I mean, knowing I had a wonderful dad and my mom and all of that, I still felt worthless. Like, well, if he doesn't want me, if my biological dad didn't want me, why does anybody want me? What did I do so wrong for him not to love me and give me up? What's wrong with me is what it was. And I just hope that I can really navigate that with Katie in a positive way, so she doesn't have to go through the mental torment that I had to go through because of it. You know? And the funny thing, it's not funny, the ironic thing is, his father did the same thing to him. Yeah. He didn't meet his father till he was like 16 years old. And I just don't understand how you could put your kid through that knowing what it's like yourself. You can help her navigate, especially because, I mean, it takes time and maturity to understand what really happened and to see perspective and see other examples. Yeah, see, with my parents, the ones that raised me, never having gone through this, I don't think they really knew how to approach it, so it was just, like, it wasn't something we talked about. Like, I knew it. Like, it was something that was known. Like, it wasn't a secret, but it wasn't something we talked about. And so, I just thought, when Katie does come to me and she's upset and she's like, why doesn't he want me? Why did he leave me? I just say, it has nothing to do with you, Katie. He's going through his own things. He makes his decisions based on him. It has nothing to do with you. You can, and if you need help, she has all her aunties on here. I had both biological parents and still went down the wrong path, yeah. The sad part is, that time has already come. I can't tell you how many times she's broke down and bawled. Why doesn't my father love me? Why doesn't my father want me? Why did my father leave me? What did I do? And she's this at 5 years old. At 5 years old, she would come to me sobbing and saying things like that, and it breaks your heart to see such a small child have to navigate those thoughts and navigate those emotions of abandonment and feeling worthless and betrayed and having to try and explain to them in a way that they'll understand that it's not because of them. But I mean, to this day, if people ask him why he doesn't see her, because everybody knows around here. We live in a very small county. When my dad passed, his side of the family, my grandparents and my uncle even told my mom at the funeral, he's not here anymore and you are nothing to me. I was 10 and my sister's 6 and that hurt so much. I couldn't imagine, Kat. I could not imagine. What was I talking about? And, like, the worst part is, like, it's not just him that walked out on her. His mom hasn't seen her in 5 years. I came in at the tail end, and man, this sucks. That's terrible. My nephew came to me the same way about his dad. Then he got to know his dad and realized he's a douchebag. When we're talking about how my husband is trying to adopt my daughter, and the court date getting pushed back because her biological father is doing everything he can to make my life hell without actually getting involved, so. Barely during COVID, I reached out to my grandparents and forgave them and talked to my grandpa more frequently, but fuck, it took time. It does. It does take time. And not only does it take time to forgive, but it took me a long time. My biological father, after we met and we were, getting to know each other, it took a long time for us to actually form a bond, and we don't have, to this day, we do not have a father-daughter relationship. It is friends. Yeah, he hasn't seen my daughter in 5 years. He hasn't paid child support in, a year and a half or more. And I didn't know that you could refuse a summons, but apparently you can. So he's done that twice now, so now we have to do it a third time. So now we gotta wait 30 more days. Hi, Karen. How are you? It's been a minute. I was hoping Pam would jump on tonight. Kat, same with my dad's side. I was 25, my little brother 11. My dad was supposed to get the house, but she said my brothers and I didn't count. I talked to one cousin on his side of the family. When he died, we were cut off. That is ridiculous. Yeah, his whole side of the... Now, his mom's dad and his wife, not his biological grandma, but his step-grandma, they are active to the point where on her birthday and Christmas, because I don't live in the same town as them, my adopted parents do, they will drop gifts off at her house, not even knock on the door or anything, just leave them at the garage. But she reached out to my adopted parents and were trying to talk, and they gave me her phone number. I invited her to Katie's 4th birthday party or 5th birthday party, I don't remember, and I never heard anything from them. So, and his biological grandma on his mom's side, she was active enough to where she would call me on birthdays, Christmas, and Easter to come over and drop off gifts, and then had the nerve to, after she hadn't seen anybody on that side of the family for 2 or 3 years, had the nerve to call me and ask me on New Year's if they were finally having their Christmas get-together, and had the nerve to call me and ask me if they could come pick her up for their Christmas get-together. And I said, no, that'd be like me flagging down a random car on the side of the road and say, here, just take my daughter for a couple hours, send her with a bunch of freaking strangers. No, I'm not sending her alone. She doesn't know you guys. But apparently that makes me a bad person, but whatever, I don't really care. I'll be the bad guy, I don't care. If it means protecting my daughter, then that's what I'll do. I don't care. I'll be the bad person, whatever. Yeah. And then his grandma, and then when she stopped doing that, it was because when she would stop by, I never let her in my house. We always sat out on the front porch, and I said, yeah, It's because I got 3 dogs in my house who don't know you, and I would rather not take the chance of them, like, trying to eat you alive or anything, so we'll just stay outside. Sorry. And because you gotta give me more notice than 45 minutes when you're coming to my house, because I don't want you in my house when it's a freaking wreck. So sad that people just will... Oh, bye, Karen. I hope you have a good night. I mean, you guys, here's what I tell Katie. It doesn't matter who's not in your life. Those people don't matter. What matters is the people that are in your life. Those are the people who matter. Those are the people who love you. Those are the people who care about you. And the other people, who cares? They don't matter. They're not important. Well, we've been talking about this for 42 minutes. I didn't mean for this to take up, like, all of the live. So what's everybody else got going on? Now that we've talked about me for 42 minutes, let's talk about somebody else. Ooh. Hold on. Just a second. Oh, my hip. Oh, my hip. Oh, oh, oh. Ooh. Oh. Also, hubby got cleared for surgery today, so we're good to go. Well, unless this test comes back positive, which it's not going to. Hey! Don't tell me. I remember your name, Rebecca, right? Real life teacher mom? Is your name Rebecca? Please tell me it's Rebecca. Look what I got, Lori. We're just talking about my daughter's, I can't say a bad biological father, who's making my life hell right now by refusing summonses for my husband to adopt her. Rebecca, I hope you don't mind me eating mini M&Ms on here. So, Aaron, hey, Mimi, you mentioned his employer set him up with a PCP to get his, whatever it was, filled out. When is that appointment? It's whatever. I knew he was going to make it difficult. Okay, Rebecca. I need to know, what is your favorite M&M? Good deal, Aaron. So soon. Did we officially give them names, Mimi? These would be so good in a shake right now. Usually I'm putting these in my mouth by the handful, but I figured that would be rude on the live, so I'll just eat them one tiny M&M at a time. I think mini M&Ms are the superior ones. Yeah, Mimi, I hope you feel better. Okay, Tiggs. And what about the other one? I know we don't get offended here, but... Oh, you guys, I'm so... Did y'all watch Crystal's new video today? I am so proud of her. And I think she's the bravest woman in the world taking on this new adventure with everything else going on in her life right now. So proud of her. Love her so much. So glad she made it home. Oh, those are cute names. I was really hoping you'd go for Millie and Trilly. That would have been cute. Or Millie Vanilli. That would have been cute. That's okay, Rebecca. Take your time. They'll be there. You guys! Speaking of that, I'm now down to 61 subscribers. What the heck? What the heck, YouTube? What was Mommy thinking? Aww. She has a channel, Erin. She, mainly does budgeting, but she also does grocery hauls, clean with me sometimes, cooking videos. I told y'all the other day me and YouTube are about to throw hands. Like, what did I do to piss them off? Maybe it's because they're mad. I found a way to bypass their going live on mobile without 1,000 subscribers. Maybe they're mad because I'm smarter than them. Well, here's the thing, Rebecca. So, like, over the last 2 weeks, YouTube has notified me. On YouTube Studio, it's notified me. I've gotten, like, 10 to 15 new subscribers. But my subscriber count will go up by 3 and then drop back down to 64. Or go up by 5 and drop back down to 64. And now it's dropped down to 61. It's ridiculous. Yeah, they do. It's ridiculous. Or they're either unsubscribing people without people knowing, or people are just realizing they don't actually like me and they're unsubscribing. Maybe that's it. Hi, Crystal. We love you and we missed you so much. And I just want to say I'm so proud of you and you're so brave taking on this new adventure with everything else that's going on in your life right now. I just love you so much. Love you so big. And we're also talking about how YouTube's dumb and keeps telling me I'm getting more subscribers, but my subscriber count keeps going down. Stupid. Oh, thank you, Crystal. Aren't you, like, going to bed? Crystal, aren't you, like, exhausted? Yes, Rebecca, you should go live. I just want to say, Crystal, I will literally watch anything you post. Like, whatever you want. You just post whatever you want, and I'll watch it. Like, literally, I would watch paint dry on your video if you were talking through it. I think you all know more me and my life than family. No, I don't think I know, because I'm comfortable sharing with you guys. Yes, this is a very safe place. And you're almost to 1,000 subs, though, Crystal. That's so exciting. You're almost monetized. We are actually feeling 100% better. So, there's that. So, if his test comes back positive, it's literally the shortest symptoms of COVID I'm pretty sure that anybody's ever had. We were feeling 100% better yesterday. Crystal's amazing, Aaron. You're gonna love her and her content. She's so funny. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he caught a 24-hour bug, and then I just got, like, overly stressed about it and made myself sick, because I didn't really feel that bad. I was just starting to feel nauseous and had a slight headache, and then I was better. It does, Crystal, but you did it. You're about to reach that crazy dream, and I am so proud of you. I'm so happy for you, and I can't wait. You deserve it. It is answered prayers, and he got the all clear from his doctor today to actually get the surgery, so that's underway. So, not everything is all bad. Already the first 3 days of this month have been a lots of twists and turns and loop-de-loops, but we're getting through it, and hopefully everything will go smoothly from here. No, not hopefully. Everything will go smoothly from here. So, I don't know how much, work on how many PDFs and stuff I'm going to be able to get put up in the next 2 months, but hopefully a few. I haven't really put it up. I need to do that. Tomorrow I'm going to do that. I am going to publish on Etsy. Why did I say that? I'm going to put up on Etsy the self-care tracker I made. What did everyone have for dinner? Me, leftovers, but hubby made sausage, breakfast, pork and beans. Yes. Aaron, we had crock-pot Salisbury steak with mashed potatoes, and I was gonna film it, but today was not the day. My mood was not right. my headspace was not there, so I didn't. What kind of cereal? Oh. That's alright, Crystal. That pizza was necessary. Takeout pizza or frozen pizza, though? That is the question. Frosted Flakes. Right, Mimi? What is dinner? Good, Crystal. Good, good, good. You needed that. Way to refill your glass with some pizza. Ain't nothing better than that. Oh, Crystal, have you seen the new purple hair? I don't know if you've seen it yet. I got purple hair. Yes, there's Nova. You want to see her? We'll show her. Say hi, Crystal. Rolling her eyes. Yes, always refill your glass. Always. Even if it's just taking 5 minutes to hide in a dark bathroom and eat a piece of chocolate. We do what we gotta do to refill our glass. Oh yeah, I forgot. I texted it to you. Duh. That feels like a lifetime ago. She had dry food, Lori, but she is waiting for her wet food. Katie wants to cook so bad. Like, what do you start out letting your kids make? Like, toast? I'm so scared to let her cook. But she wants to so bad. Yeah, I just don't want my house to burn, and I don't. I've been the sole cook in whatever household I was in for so long. I don't know if I could relinquish the duty. Like, for Christmas, she got, like, Dollar Tree has, like, I shouldn't say this loud because Santa brought it. Like, mini whisks and ladles and spatulas and tongs and things. And then I also gave her my old hand mixer. Would that be a video y'all would be interested in seeing? Like, a series, like, me teaching my kids how to cook. Yeah, she has one. But here, I want to show you because it's ridiculous. Well, it's not up here, which means she has at some point taken it down from here. Oh! Don't fall, you're in a dress. Yeah, don't know what she did with it. I don't know what she did with it, but we got her one, and there was ice cream sandwiches she wanted to make in it. And the ice cream sandwiches had chocolate chip cookies as the cookie part. But then they were just this weird chocolate cookie that didn't even turn out good. Probably. That would be great, Crystal. Katie can makes like popcorn in the microwave. But I don't really let her like use the stove too much. Maybe I just need to quit being so uptight about my kitchen and just kind of let go and let her do it. Like, maybe I should, like, start with, like, mac and cheese. That's not hard. You just boil some water and some pasta, right? Not boil water in pasta. Boil pasta in water. I can hear Luca's nursery rhymes. Love you, Crystal. I hope you going back to work tomorrow is not too crazy. And I hope you sleep well. You deserve it. You need it. The problem is she doesn't eat eggs. So I don't want her to, like, be cooking things she's not gonna eat. I love you big. I love all of y'all big. Yes, Mimi, rest and stay hydrated. If you and the girls are still congested, get a little bit of eucalyptus oil. Plug your tub if you have one in your bathroom. Shut the door. Run the water really hot with that eucalyptus oil in there. Just a couple of drops, and it should help alleviate some of the congestion. And also, Mimi, hold on. If you're leaving yet, Mimi, don't leave yet. I gotta show you something. But also, this stuff, Mimi, for babies, I just put it in Luca's bath a couple weeks ago when he was congested or not feeling well, and it really helps to alleviate congestion. It makes like a bubble bath, not like a bubble bath, but anyways, you just let him sit in it for a little while. If you're still here, I don't know if you've left yet. Yes, it works wonders. But yes, the eucalyptus oil in the bathtub with the door shut, and all three of y'all just sit in there. You don't have to be in the bathtub, just sit on the floor, on the toilet, whatever, let it get all steamy and eucalyptusy in the bathroom, and just for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Also, you can't do this with the babies because it will burn, but you can always rub eucalyptus like down here on the bottom of your nose, and it will help you not be so congested. And then they have mentholatum for babies that doesn't burn, that you can like rub on their chest or their back and their feet with socks on. Message me. I'll help you all I can if you need anything, have any questions. I mean, I'm not like a doctor or anything, but I know a few tricks. Y'all, Why do my eyes look like such a weird color today? Yes, they do, and it works magic to get them to sleep. Alright, Mimi. Well, I was having trouble exporting it, so my husband worked on it and exported it. And then we uploaded it to YouTube, and after we uploaded it to YouTube, we realized that at the 24 mark, the screen just goes black and doesn't finish. So I deleted it, and I'm going to have to re-edit it and re-export it and re-upload it tomorrow. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it did that. Somewhere between exporting it to my computer from my editing software and uploading it to YouTube, something got messed up. So, yeah. Probably, Leroy. You know you can speed it up, just tap, 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 and get through it. But by the time you get to this, if you're behind on the chat, it's not going to matter. I just need to get a new bed. Ask Leroy what part of the video he's on. If he's behind, I can't ask him. I'm fixing to... Yeah. Oh. Did you hear what I said about the Italian sausage video? If not, I'll say it again. Something between exporting it from my editing software to YouTube, a part of the video got cut out and it was just a blank screen when it got to YouTube. So I deleted it because I'm going to have to re-edit. I'm going to try and re-export it tomorrow. If that doesn't fix it, then I'm going to have to re-edit it tomorrow so I can re-export it and re-upload it. Hi, Janice. Oh, I'm just about to jump off here. It's already 9:35. I gotta go to bed. I gotta get back on my schedule for school. That's okay. You can always go back and rewatch it, Janice, if you want. Alright, you guys. I'm gonna pop off here. Get ready for bed. I need to go for my last walk, and then I need to get in bed. And, yeah. I'm probably not going to be able to sleep because I took a nap and didn't get up till 4 o'clock. My daughter's biological father is making this adoption really difficult. The adoption date got pushed back because he refused to be summoned the first time. Said he would get summoned the second time, but never showed up to get his summons. And so now we have to summons him again. So we had to push the adoption date back 30 days again. Alright, I love you guys so big, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Hopefully that Italian sausage video will get fixed. If not, I'm just going to have to scrap it and redo it some other time. It's okay, Janice. I knew he was going to make this difficult. I love you guys. Bye.